Hello, and welcome to the Coachman. As always, it's been a while. Life has been interesting. I became a coach, so an actual football coach. Hopefully, it's the start of a beautiful career. And Mark, today it's something different. But it's been interesting. So I've been running around a lot and have been struggling. But hopefully, this is the start of consistency of at least season 2 and finishing out strong. So with that said, we're actually going to be staying in the United States for a lovely piece called by Kate Chopin called Caline. All right. So let's get started. The sun was just far enough in the west to send inviting shadows. In the center of a small field and in the shade of a haystack, which was there, a girl lay sleeping. She had slept long and soundly when something awoke her as suddenly as if she had been blown away. She opened her eyes and stared a moment up in the cloudless sky. She yawned and stretched her long brown legs and arms lazily. Then she arose, never minding the bits of straw that clung to her black hair, to her red bodice, and the blue cottonade skirt that did not reach her naked ankles. Ooh, that's nasty back in that time. Now, back in the 1800s, you better cover them ankles. The log cabin in which she dwelt with her parents was just outside the enclosed in which she had been sleeping. Beyond was a small clearing that did duty as a cotton field. All else was dense wood, except the long stretch that curved round the brow of the hill, and in which glittered the steel rails of Texas and Pacific Road. When Caline emerged from the shadow, she saw a long train of passenger coaches standing in view, where they must have stopped abruptly. It was that sudden stopping which had awakened her, for such a thing not happened before within her recollection, and she looked stupid at first with astonishment. There seemed to be something wrong with the engine, and some of the passengers who dismounted went forward to investigate the trouble. Others came strolling along in the direction of the cabin, where Caline stood under an old gnarled mulberry tree, staring. Her father had halted his mule at the end of the cotton row, and stood staring also, leaning upon his plow. There were ladies in the party. They walked awkwardly in the high-heeled boots over the rough, uneven ground, and held up their skirts mincingly. They twirled parasols over their shoulders and laughed immoderately at the funny things which their masculine companions were saying. They tried to talk to Caline, but could not understand the French patois with which she answered them. Now, for those of you who don't know what a French patois is, 9 out of 10 said that if they're speaking French patois, this was somewhere in the South, and then also this was French Creole. So patois is kind of like if you ever heard like a Jamaican, I know, I'll just give you an idea, like when they say wagwan, you know what I mean? So that's like a patois. It's almost like I wouldn't say like local language or whatever, or like a local spin. You know what I mean? So 9 out of 10 with a French patois, it was most likely she had like a very thick accent, maybe mixed in a couple of mixed words or whatever it is, but made it real difficult. So when I say wagwan, that means what's going on? You know what I mean? But that's in Jamaican patois, not French, but French might be something a little different, you know? So one of the men, a pleasant-faced youngster, drew a sketchbook from his pocket and began to make a picture of the girl. She stayed motionless, her hands behind her, and her wide eyes fixed earnestly upon one. Before he had finished, there was a summons from the train, and all went scampering hurriedly away. The engine screeched. It sent a few lazy puffs into the air, and in another moment or two had vanished, bearing its human cargo with it. Caline could not feel the same after that. She looked with new and strange interest upon the trains of cars that passed so swiftly back and forth across her vision each day, and wondered whence these people came and whither they were going. Her mother and father could not tell her except to say that they came from Lualabas and were going Dieu c'était. And I got to be honest, I wish I could tell you what that meant. I wish I could tell you straight off the bat, but after looking it up real quick, Lualabas means like way down there. Dieu c'était is kind of like it's almost like is it where it's like who knows where. I mean, it's like I don't know. So basically, like Lualabas is like, yo man, he over that way, and then Dios Ateo is kind of like, I don't know, he's somewhere. You know what I mean? So basically, that's what they were saying. But I'm glad we got it over with. So one day, she walked miles down the track to talk with an old flagman who stayed down there by the big water tank. Yes, he knew. Those people came from the great cities in the north and were going to the city in the south. He knew all about the city. It was a grand place. He had lived there once. His sister lived there now, and she would be glad enough to have so fine a girl as Caline to help her cook and scrub and tend the babies. And he thought Caline might earn as much as $5 a month in the city. Now, that really doesn't seem like much, but you got to remember, this is like over like 140 years ago. So $5 a month is actually probably a pretty good cheese. Yeah. So she went in a new cottonade and her Sunday shoes with a sacredly guarded scroll that the flagman sent to his sister. The woman lived in a tiny Sikot house with green blinds and 3 wooden steps leading down to the Becket. There seemed to be hundreds like it along the street. Over the housetops loomed the tall masts of ships, and the hum of the French market could be heard on and on still morning. Caline was at first bewildered. She had to readjust all her preconceptions to fit the reality of it. The flagman's sister was a kind and gentle taskmistress. At the end of the week or two, she wanted to know how the girl liked it at all. Caline liked it very well, for it was pleasant on Sunday afternoons to stroll with the children under the great solemn sugar sheds, or to sit upon the compressed cotton bales, watching the stately steamers, the graceful boats, and noisy little tugs that piled the waters of the Mississippi. Hence, point proven. I told you it must have been down south. I'm getting pretty good at this. And it filled her with agreeable excitement to go to the French market, where the handsome Gascon butchers were eager to present their compliments and little Sunday bouquets to the pretty Acadian girl, and to throw fistfuls of lagniappe into her baskets. Okay, so if you're wondering what a lagniappe is, like what they get, it's like basically it's almost like it's like a gift that I guess like back in the day when you bought something, like the shop owner would give you like a little gift, almost kind of like when a kid goes to the dentist and gets like a lollipop. Except for her, when she went down to go like to go shopping down at the market, the gentleman would might give her fish and then say, hey, a nice little flower for you, or hey, a nice little, I don't know, extra sweet for you. So that's basically what a lagniappe is. When the woman asked her again another week if she were still pleased, she was not so sure. And again, where she questioned Caline, the girl turned away and went to sit behind the big yellow cistern to cry unobserved. For she knew now that it was not the great city and its crowd of people she had so eagerly sought, but the pleasant-faced boy who had made her picture that day under the mulberry tree. Well, with that being said, thank you very much. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Hopefully a wonderful week. And until next time, take care.